Hi, friends. You are listening to the EntreEd Talk podcast, where we feature amazing educators and entrepreneurs showcasing how you can bring entrepreneurship into the classroom. We believe entrepreneurship is for everyone. I am your host, Toy Hirschman, and I am so glad you chose to join me on this journey. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a really exciting episode of the EntreEd Talk podcast. I have with me some amazing students and their amazing teacher. I am so excited to welcome Kristy Frohliger and BW Creations. BW Creations is a student-run business sponsored by real-world scholars and run out of Whitehall Elementary in the Baldwin-Whitehall School District. They sell sublimated products such as phone grips, mugs, water bottles, hand sanitizer, and lip balm keychains. You have to check their store out. It is shopbwcreations.com, and we will put the link in the show notes. Their proceeds go to so many fantastic things that they will share with you here in a bit. But this is the second year for BW Creations and the third year for Kristy helping students run a business through Real World Scholars. Shout out to Real World Scholars too, because we've had them on the podcast before and it is a great, great organization. So to get started, let's have everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with Kristy.
I am Kristy Frohliger. I am the STEAM Media Specialist at Whitehall Elementary in the Baldwin-Whitehall School District, and I am the co-owner of BW Creations, this 5th and 6th grade run.
Wow, this is so cool. Okay, Ethan, you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Ethan, and I am a 6th grade mentor for BW Creations.
Olivia?
Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm one of the 6th grade mentors.
Gianna?
Hi, I'm Gianna, and I'm also one of the 6th grade mentors.
We actually have two Delaney's. So Delaney M, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Delaney M. I'm one of the 6th grade mentors.
And Delaney P.
Hi, I'm Delaney P, and I'm a 5th grade BW Creations student.
And Brandon.
Hi, my name is Brandon Isak, and I am the chief website designer for BW Creations.
Can we hire you? Do you do work?
I'm just an amateur.
Me too. I need somebody that is like one notch above me. This is awesome. So, I can't even tell you guys how grateful I am to have you here. And I know our audience is too. It's just, I'm getting goosebumps. Literally, I am so excited to talk to students. I miss students so bad. We're usually in schools all the time and I just miss you guys. Oh. So, all right. So I will now have Kristy just kind of go over BW Creations and how things have, started and where they're at right now and all of this great stuff. So I'm excited. You guys will love hearing from her.
Okay. Last year, BW Creations was set up as a club. Any 5th grade student can apply to be a business owner at the beginning of the school year. Last school year, I had 29 students that were coming to school 45 minutes early, 2 times a week for business meetings. During business meetings, we discussed products we would like to sell, what charities we want to donate to, how to promote the business, and what upcoming selling events we have scheduled. After selling events, and we had around 7 or 8 selling events in person last year, students would report on what sold well and what customers are saying about their products. So then the students knew what we should keep making and what maybe we should cut out. This year, we still have the business, but with school being hybrid and or remote, depending on the day or the week, everything has gone virtual. We have business meetings each Wednesday via Google Meet, and the heat presses are at 8 students' houses. When we get an order from our website, the students will design the order on their Creative Studio website. Then I print it out and take the image and products and packaging to the students' houses for them to make. I then pick up the item and we either mail the item to the customers, and we've had customers all the way to Arizona this year and Florida. And then, or if they're local, they can do a curbside pickup at my house where I've been sending it out to them. We are missing the in-person selling events this year, but we were able to participate in Handmade Arcade virtual marketplace, which was around Christmas time. And we had to develop a whole new website for just them. From that site and from other events this year and other selling, the students already earned $1,500. They were able to give a donation to their picked charity right now is Homeless Children's Education Fund in the Pittsburgh area. And that was the charity that they all voted on to start with this year. Our proceeds will go to multiple places. We buy products again for the business. We donate to the nonprofits. We like to give back to the school. And we hope to have some fun money at the end, maybe a little get together, depending on where we stand with the school year. So that's kind of a little background on what the amazing thing that these business students have done. And I always have the 5th grade students, but this year I brought the 6th grade mentors in too. They were our 5th grade business owners from last year. So they were training all the 5th graders on videos and really teaching them how to make things. And they could tell you a little bit more about that too.
That is so cool. I'm curious, and maybe one of the 6th graders can answer this question. Just pop your hand up if you want to share, and more than one person can share. How, I guess you guys came up with the idea for this business, right? Last year. So how did you decide? What was that like? How did you decide to do BW Creations? Go ahead, Gianna.
So last year we our first business meeting, we were coming up with names, name ideas, and figuring out what we're going to start with, how we're going to advertise, and basically kind of just taking votes on everything.
Cool. Brandon, do you want to share? I didn't know if you had your hand up. Sorry. I'm not trained. I'm not like your teacher. I'm trying to watch everybody at the same time.
We started with a sublimation printer that I already had. So we knew we had to do something with sublimation because that printer was a lot of money and we didn't have the funds to get that. So that's where we started from. And then we talked about what kind of products can we do with sublimation.
That's cool. I looked at your website and I am going to get some of those keychains. They are adorable and very handy. So I'm really curious about this heat press situation because I know that giving students, no offense to you guys, but for teachers, giving students equipment like that can be a little scary because you don't want them to get hurt. So who has a heat press at their house, and please share what's that like? How about Delaney M?
So I have a heat press at my house, and when Miss Frohliger emails me hey, can you make this product? I'll be sure, and then I'll go to her house and she'll give it to me, and I'll come back to my house. We have to be careful when you're walking around not to burn your elbows, or if you have an animal at home. Your dog doesn't burn yourself.
Oh my gosh. That's a really mature thing that you're able to do that. And I think I would probably burn my elbows.
The temperature's at what do we usually have it on? 400 degrees?
Yeah.
Gianna, did you want to share it too?
Yeah, so I was going to say, when we use it, we do have gloves, fabric gloves, not just the reusable latex ones. And we were using that, to get them out of the heat press and just so we didn't burn our hands.
Wow. That's
Olivia, you have a mug press at your house. Set that up.
I had a mug press at my house, and we had it set up in my room. So I would make it, and I burnt my hand on one before when I took the tape off too early before it was cooled.
Wow. I'm just really impressed. You guys are not normal. In a good way. In a good way of not normal. This is just, you've taken on such a cool responsibility and just run with it. It just warms my heart to see you guys doing this and volunteering to do this, which is really amazing. So I'm interested for probably one of the 6th graders to share has it been like going from doing this in person to now having this kind of virtual system? What you guys have worked out is really comprehensive. So one of you like to share what that was like from last year to this year? How about Ethan?
So it was definitely hard because like we were used to like making the products, like in posting and having all that, and having like the meetings like in posting and not having to do Google Meet, but like it was still it's still good, I should say.
You've
Like
really,
still like talking about like when we need and like those type of things. Like that's what I kind of like about being remote, like in doing these meetings.
yeah, it's been just doing this and doing school normally, or well, online is so weird. And I just can't imagine trying to work this business at the, with this network online. That's really, really impressive. Have you guys ever heard the word pivot before? Like pivot, if you play basketball, you pivot, but in business, pivoting means when you have this challenge in front of you and you have to do something completely different in order to keep your business running. And in this pandemic, all of the adults, everyone that owns a business has had to pivot. And you guys I'm really impressed with how you were able to do that. It's really incredible that you were able to just, okay, instead of just throwing your hands up in the air and saying, oh, I guess we won't do the business this year. You said, nope, we're gonna go forward.
Yeah, I felt it was so important because I saw what these kids got out of it last year. And I really wanted to give the kids the opportunity to do it this year, even though, we didn't know what was going to happen. And I could have kept all the equipment at school, but we couldn't. If we got an order in and then we got shut down, we wouldn't have been able to get the order. We thought it was very important for the customer stayed happy too. So that's when I moved everything to my house initially, and it's still at my house. The big sublimation printer, which hopefully today I'm going to be taking it over to Delaney M's house, and she's going to be the one in charge of printing and getting all of the items ready for everyone to go out. So then all the heat presses will be out of my house, the sublimation printer will be out of my house, and all I'm going to have to do is coordinate between the kids. But I think they're at that point already. They're going to be able just to run it from their houses on their own.
Wow, that's so impressive. So would some of you like to share what is your favorite thing about being part of BW Creations? How about Delaney P?
I like it because I get to be very creative with it and like think of my own ideas, and I get to like be like a part of like making the Instagram post and stuff as well.
Awesome. Brandon?
I like being part of BW Creations because it gives me a chance to be myself. I like doing stuff with computers. I'm really good at that.
That's wonderful. That's what we do, a lot of entrepreneurship education. That's all what we do. And that's what we find all the time when you can bring this real experience into the classroom, the way Real World Scholars has helped you guys do. It's such a cool experience for kids because you get to choose and you get to do what you like, which is unfortunately not always the case in every other class. How about Olivia? Did you have your hand up? And then Gianna next.
I like that we can all do something that we like. Like if you like designing stuff, you can design stuff online. And if you like making stuff, you can like help use the heat press. And if you like designing stuff on the website, you can do the website.
Yeah, it's really, it's probably a lot more motivating because you're doing something you like and you're actually working toward a goal where you're seeing this grow, this business bring money in and grow, and that has to feel really good. Gianna?
So what I was gonna say, I feel very like free, basically, like, oh, there's like a decision that we all have to make, so we're all gonna vote for it. And usually in classes it's like, oh, this is what we're gonna do, and like, you go along with what the teacher says. But in this class, I feel very like free to like, independent to make our own decisions. and I feel like a real business owner.
Well, you are.
Well, yeah.
That is amazing. Oh, I love this. Delaney P.
Another thing I like about it is that we can give money to like our own like charity of our choice, because it just helps others, and that's like what I like.
That is wonderful. That's it's a beautiful thing to see your work and see how it helps the community. It's really great. Does anybody else want to share? Delaney M.
I like the best part about the business is making the products. So when like Miss Frohliger gives us the products and you have to like turn the heat press on, it's like a really big experience when people do it for like the first time and forever.
So what, so I guess you guys are going back or are back in school, except for today. So are you excited about that? Will you get to, Kristy, will you guys get to do BW Creations, or can you not do that during?
No, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it at home again because we can be shut down at any time. Plus, we don't want to have all the kids touching everything because we'd have to wipe it down in between. So it's probably just best to keep the items, the presses at each kid's house. And like we're switching some of the houses right now, so other kids get the opportunity to do that. So, and we'll switch again as it goes further on. We'll see what the end of when springtime comes, what happens. But I think we're going to keep it remote and virtual for now.
Well, it sounds like you've got a well-oiled machine worked out anyway. Before you guys had this class, did any of you think about being a business owner when you grew up? Did that ever crossed your mind? Brandon?
I just think being a business owner was a cool idea.
Did you think that before? Like what made you decide? It's a good question for you, Brandon. What made you decide to take this class and be part of this club?
So I just thought the whole point of it was interesting. Like all the buying and selling and stuff. I recently started looking at Google Finance for the stocks. I just like looking at stuff like that.
That's awesome. So did you say stocks?
Yeah.
That's so cool. My fifth grader does that too. We have a little account for him that he's actually doing much better than we are. So I saw somebody else's hand was up. Gianna, go ahead.
So at first, before I decided, like I was very undecisive of what I wanted to be when I was older. I really had no idea. But after taking this class, I know I want to do something with selling and designing and making and stuff that I can be involved in. And that relates back to being, in this club. It was a very big experience for me.
Oh, that's wonderful. We, well, of course, we love to hear that because we know that that's, small businesses and entrepreneurs grow the economy. That's a fact. You can look it up. There's lots of research, but it's really cool to have these experiences young, because the more of these experiences you get, the more likely you're going to be able to, when you go out into the world and want to start a business, you know what it's like to pivot. You know what it's like to face a challenge. So you won't just go, give up. You'll go, wait, we can solve this problem. So I think that that's such a powerful thing to say. Thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else want to share? Do you think now that you might start a business someday?
Well, I actually am starting one already. I have my own sawgrass printer and heat press down in my garage. That's like my little space. And I've had a couple of orders so far.
Oh, awesome. You'll have to tell me what is that business?
It's called the Creative Corner, but I'm just now starting to get the ball rolling and stuff like that, and I've gotten more orders and stuff.
Well, yeah, we'll have to send some folks your way. Brandon?
I don't know, but one day I was playing NASCAR Heat 4, and I was doing the career mode, and I made my own team. In the first race, I was really slow, so I fixed it. And then I got NASCAR Heat 5 for Christmas this year, and I figured out how to do that. And now I'm like pretty rich in that game.
Well,
And,
that's how it works. You keep pushing and you get better. That's what entrepreneurship education helps students be able to do. I never knew what an entrepreneur was the entire way through. No, I couldn't have told. I could have maybe thought, oh, it's when you start a business, but no one ever gave me that experience. And that's why this club that you guys are in is so powerful, because you're actually running a business for real. So it makes it a lot easier if you want to start a business now, like some of you, or later. So cool. Yes, Brandon.
So continuing off what I just said, all that experience, I want to be a NASCAR driver when I grow up because I like watching NASCAR on TV. So I'm thinking of when I get older and I have like a bunch of money, I'm going to start my own team or join a team and then start my own team.
That's awesome. I bet that scares your mom like crazy.
I mean, I didn't tell her this yet.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit. I dropped some hints.
That's an amazing goal. I know when my little guy rides his four-wheeler around the yard, it scares the pants. All right. Well, this is wonderful, guys. Let's see, does anybody have any advice for other teachers we have a lot of teachers that listen to this show. Any advice from the student perspective of how teachers could bring some of this entrepreneurship, some of this experiential learning, which is where you're learning by doing, into their classroom? Brandon?
Be happy all the time.
Just be happy all the time? Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Have a happy motive, and kids will start to like you. And then you can do that, and you can start a business. And many kids will jump on your business because they like you as a teacher.
That's really cool. That sounds like perfect advice.
I'm happy all the time, Brandon.
Delaney P?
Just for like the teachers to be like creative with things and like don't give up when you try something. If it doesn't go well as planned, just keep trying.
That's wonderful. Olivia?
I like that we try new things. Like when I joined the business, I didn't think we would be using heat presses. Like I would never thought that we would do that.
Yeah, you probably never even used one before, and now you're an expert.
Basically, students learn more when they're doing, not just listening. So, like, if students are more involved, they'll, like, remember it and, be like, oh, yeah, we did that in class, and, have more fun with stuff they're doing in the classroom.
That is so true. That is really true. Ethan?
My advice could possibly be like, it could be like, kind of like stick with like that, like just because, like have faith in yourself, because like you might not be like successful like when you start, but like as like you'll get like the ball rolling, and then you can take off from there.
That is perfect. I'm so glad that you said that, because that's what entrepreneurs do. They keep going. There's a saying somewhere, and I don't know who said it, but the reason that entrepreneurs fail is if they quit. So, you might hit a brick wall at first, and you try something and it doesn't work. And then you, instead of just going, I give up, you say, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this, or another way to do this, or maybe scratch this idea and go with this other idea. But it's just persevering in the face of a challenge, which is really cool. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for sharing. This has been wonderful. What is really neat to me is that you guys, some of you are sixth grade mentors. So as Gianna said, you're learning by doing, and that's such an important part of learning. So when you've really learned something, you can turn around and teach it. And so I would like one of you or two of you to share, what was it like to be a mentor? How about Delaney M?
I think a mentor at the first was a little hard because like you think you'd mess up teaching them, but once you like start teaching multiple kids, it's pretty easy to get it going because you're already used to it. Like you know how to do it, so you can just explain it, and then hopefully the person learns it.
That's perfect. Well, you're the expert, and so that's just a really cool way for you to be able to, especially peer to peer, because you're teaching someone who's not that much younger than you, which is really awesome.
Well, Toy, they also, last year when we started making foam grips. And I taught the kids how to do foam grips, and I taught them how to do, I think, koozies and maybe mouse pads. Well, then towards the end of this, well, before March when we shut down, we started doing some mugs, and we started doing some water bottles and some other things. Well, the kids just started learning on their own. I said, just try it out, see how you can make it, see what you can do. So this year when we started, I realized that I never made some of these items on the heat presses because I told the kids to just go ahead and do it. So they were making videos, and I was watching the videos so I can learn how to do it also, because they just took control. By January, February of last year, the kids took control and they tried it on their own. So even with the new items this year, we were all just trying it on our own. We put water bottles in, and the kids figured it out. So they had the heat presses. So they were successful that way. So they're even teaching adults too.
That is wonderful. See, it's amazing what kids can do when you just let them do it. I think I saw Olivia. Did you want to share?
Yeah, my neighbor just recently joined the business, so I was helping her make a few water bottles on my heat press that I had at my house, and I think it's really fun teaching.
Awesome. Ethan?
I agree with Olivia totally. I mean, it's been fun because I remember I'm not sure if it was before the school year or like in the beginning of it, but I remember that Miss Frohliger had to allow me to make videos to help them and figure out how to use like the sites to make the plaques. That was fun to do for sure.
Awesome. Delaney P?
I think that the 6th grade mentors really helped with some things because they were like doing videos for us and making videos, and they on the Google Meets they were presenting and sharing their screens for us to like see how to work the website and stuff. So they really helped a lot.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Is it neat to have somebody teaching you that's basically your age instead of a teacher like me that's old? Yeah. Not that Kristy is, but like,
Oh.
that came out wrong. Sorry. So is it fun to be taught by somebody that's your age? Is that?
Yeah, because they just like know what they know what they're doing like too. So like it's like cool for them to teach me as well as a teacher.
Awesome. I know I would rather, when I was growing up, I would rather have someone that was a student help me. And because teachers can be, not your teacher, but teachers can be a little intimidating sometimes. And so it'd be easier to make mistakes in front of someone my age than in front of a teacher. But does anybody else want to share? Awesome. Well, we're up against our time frame, so we'll wrap up here. And plus, my jaw hurts from smiling. So, is there anything else that you guys want to share? And Kristy, do you want to have anything else you want to say? Ethan?
If you want to go check out our website, make sure to visit shopbwcreations.com.
Perfect. I was just going to say, how can people reach out to you? Delaney P?
Another way they could reach out to us is by our Instagram account is ShopBW Creations, and we have all of our products up on there. And there's like the new Valentine's Day products that I just made a Instagram post of, and Miss Frohliger posted up there.
That's wonderful. I looked at some of those, and you will be getting an order from me. They are awesome. Brandon?
I just put Valentine stuff up on shopbwcreations.com. So if you want to order any Valentine phone grips, water bottles, hand sanitizers, chapsticks, any of those things, you can go to shopbwcreations.com.
Awesome.
And
Thank you, guys.
I really enjoy having this group of kids, and I'm hoping to continue to keep on doing it with Whitehall Elementary. And I know some of the 6th grade mentors were kind of sad that maybe there won't be 6th grade mentors next year, but I'm hoping maybe there'll be 7th grade mentors next year, and just stick with us, and we'll just keep building it more and more and have a nice little community of entrepreneurs and business owners, child business owners.
This is so cool. Kristy, guys, gals, I'm so thankful that you were able to join us today. This has been so delightful and wonderful, and I'm just so impressed with you guys and everything that you're doing. I wish all kids could have this experience, because it really does change the way, I mean, you're building mindsets, whether you realize it or not, that are going to help you if you go out and become an entrepreneur, or if you don't, because what you're learning right now is what every employer in the world wants to see too. They want people who can persevere. They want people who can be creative, who aren't afraid to share what they know. And I just think it's amazing. So thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you, Kristy, for introducing me to these wonderful kids.
I'm so glad you reached out to meet us. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And also shout out to Kristen Dunn at Real World Scholars. She introduced us, and thank you to her too. Wonderful. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.